Imagine a world where machines create art and you can't easily tell what's real. Sounds thrilling, right? But there's a chilling truth beneath this digital revolution that could threaten our cultural heritage. The rise of AI-generated art isn't just a technological marvel, it's a potential crisis. Each piece of art carries our stories, but as algorithms take over creativity, those narratives risk vanishing. How does this impact you? Picture walking through a museum, admiring centuries-old masterpieces, only to see them overshadowed by flashy AI creations. It's not just unsettling, it's a warning sign. As these digital images gain traction, they challenge the core of art and who gets to shape our cultural narratives. AI models learn from existing art, drawing from the rich tapestry of human creativity, but this process often ignores the nuances and stories behind the originals. It's like rewriting a classic without acknowledging its roots. What happens to cultural significance then? Now, consider a local artist pouring their soul into a mural that reflects their community's struggles, only to be eclipsed by an AI-generated piece that steals the spotlight. This isn't merely about art, it's about losing identity and heritage. Can you feel the urgency rising? The stakes are alarmingly high. We risk losing diverse voices in creativity while being dazzled by stunning visuals created in an instant. The allure of AI is powerful, but what's the cost? What happens when digital giants dictate our cultural narratives? As we edge closer to an AI-dominated future, a critical question looms: how do we safeguard our heritage? It's time to discuss the value of authentic, human-created art. Supporting local artists, sharing their stories, and recognizing the irreplaceable human touch in creativity is vital. So, the next time you scroll through a feed of breathtaking AI creations, take a moment to pause and reflect. Who is telling the story? What heritage are we willing to sacrifice? The choice is ours, and it starts with awareness. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, consider sharing it. Let's keep this conversation going and protect the stories that define us. Have you ever wondered what happens to our cultural treasures when technology takes the reins? Imagine a world where AI-generated art begins to overshadow our cherished human creations. It might sound far-fetched, but the hidden impacts of AI art on preserving cultural heritage are more relevant than you think. Picture yourself wandering through a museum, surrounded by masterpieces that narrate the stories of our ancestors. Now, consider that these stories could be rewritten by algorithms, a reality many people aren't prepared to face. What if I told you that every time you click generate on an AI art platform, you might be unintentionally contributing to cultural erasure? It's a concerning thought, but every algorithm comes with its drawbacks. As these tools evolve, they risk diluting the very essence of what makes art human. Think about it: when artists pour their hearts into a painting, they are not just creating, they are capturing emotions, histories, and identities. Now, imagine a machine attempting to replicate that process without any real-life experiences. The authenticity of those human stories is at stake, and it feels like we're racing toward a future where art becomes merely a product rather than a profound expression of our humanity. Let's dig deeper. Consider a local artist who has spent years honing their craft, only to see their unique vision eclipsed by a machine that can churn out copies in seconds. How does that feel? It's like watching a shadow swallow the light, leaving behind only echoes of what once was. The consequences reach beyond the individual, they ripple through communities, affecting traditions that have thrived for centuries. When art takes center stage, we risk losing the narratives that connect us to our heritage. Art serves as a bridge across generations, and when that bridge is replaced by a digital facade, we could find ourselves disconnected from our own history. So what can we do? It's not about rejecting technology entirely. We need to strike a balance of finding a way to coexist with these tools while safeguarding our cultural legacy. Imagine supporting artists who weave their communities' stories into their work, ensuring those narratives remain alive and vibrant. As we stand at this crucial crossroads, it's vital to reflect: what does it mean to create art in a world dominated by algorithms? The answer could shape the future of creativity itself. So, the next time you admire an AI-generated piece, take a moment to pause and consider what's at stake. Your thoughts matter, share them, and let's explore this intricate relationship between technology and our irreplaceable cultural heritage together. Imagine an artist pouring their heart into a canvas, only to be overshadowed by a machine. This isn't just a sci-fi concept, it's the reality of AI-generated art, shaking the very foundations of our cultural heritage. The rise of AI in art goes beyond mere convenience. It delves into something much deeper that could alter our understanding of creativity itself. Many overlook the cracks forming beneath the surface, but those cracks could lead to a cultural flood. Think back to your last visit to a museum, standing in awe of ancient masterpieces and feeling the weight of history. Now, imagine if those iconic works were replaced by algorithms producing art that looks familiar but lacks soul. That's the hidden danger of art. We're not just discussing pretty pictures when AI creates. It draws from a vast pool of existing art, often without crediting the original creators. What happens to those artists, their stories and their struggles? It's akin to erasing the footprints of those who came before us, diluting the legacy of creativity with cold calculations. Picture yourself in a future gallery, surrounded by AI-generated pieces. You glance at one, feeling strangely disconnected. There's no story, no emotion, just a product of code and data. It might be visually appealing, but can you truly connect with it? Can it evoke the same feelings as a brushstroke made by a human hand? As we embrace technology, we risk losing vital aspects of cultural identity. Consider regional art forms that tell stories of heritage and tradition. If AI becomes the